Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Michael Richmond, a double board certified cardiothoracic surgeon. So yesterday I made a video accurately discussing what an acute ascending aortic dissection is and what it's not after seeing multiple videos where non-surgeons and even chiropractors were giving their 2 cents. So surprisingly, my video had hundreds of thousands of views across all platforms and generated thousands of questions. And I've definitely answered hundreds of them over the past 24 hours, but I can't answer all of them. So in today's video, I'm going to cover what has been asked the most. So first, what are the risk factors for an acute ascending aortic dissection? And remember, that's a tear in the aorta, not an aneurysm. Second, is there any universal screening that is effective in preventing or discovering the dissection before the catastrophic events start? And then third, who, if anybody, should undergo screening via genetic testing? So let's start with a number that should get your attention. As I said yesterday, 50% of patients who have an acute ascending aortic dissection never make it to the hospital alive. So what happens to the remaining 50%? Well, the mortality rate is 1 to 2% per hour if it goes untreated. So that means if you or somebody you know has this, within the first 48 hours, the odds of survival drop dramatically. In fact, obviously, the majority of them die. It is a true medical emergency, and it strikes most of the time without warning. So what are the risk factors? First, I want to say it's not an issue of old age, contrary to what people think. They fall into two main buckets, if you will. First, things that weaken the wall of your aorta. And if you remember, your aorta is the tube that comes out of your heart and all the branches of your arteries that go throughout your body. And then the second is things that put excessive stress on the wall. Now, one culprit by a landslide is high blood pressure. And we're talking up to 86% of cases have hypertension. It's the silent killer. It puts constant heavy stress on your aortic wall. But here's where it gets tricky, and this is called the aortic size paradox, if you will. So we used to think that if your aorta is under 5.5 centimeters dilated, you're safe. And that's obviously wrong because 60% of these tears, these dissections, happen when the aorta is smaller than 5.5 centimeters. In fact, 90% happen below the 5 centimeter threshold, if you will. The aorta doesn't have to look massive on a scan to tear. Now, beyond blood pressure, we have genetic and structural risks. These are conditions that cause what we call medial degeneration. So the muscle has an issue. Essentially, the wall of your blood vessels fall apart. So in this, think of Marfan syndrome, Loeys-Dietz syndrome, or vascular Ehlers-Danlos, to name a few. Also having a bicuspid aortic valve, which is a valve with 2 flaps instead of 3, significantly raises your risk. There's also environmental and lifestyle stress. In this, we're talking about things that spike your blood pressure suddenly, like stimulant use, extremely heavy weightlifting where you Valsalva maneuver, which is when you hold your breath and you strain, and smoking. Even prior cardiac surgery or pregnancy are considered risk factors. And here's a stat that should make you pay attention to your family tree. Having an affected first-degree relative gives you a 6-fold higher risk of an aortic dissection. The hereditability is estimated at 57%. This is genetic, plain and simple. So if it's so deadly and often silent, shouldn't we just screen everybody? That was the third question. Should we do a CT scan or an echocardiogram on the entire population to catch this? And obviously the answer is a definitive no. It would be impossible to do. And universal population screening is not recommended because the incidence in the general population is too low. It's about 2.5 to 3.4 per 100,000 people years. So you may end up with too many false positives, too much cost, and no validated cost-effective strategy to make it work. We don't have a mammogram for aortas that is recommended for everyone. Instead, we rely on targeted screening, if you will. So in the emergency room, doctors use the aortic dissection detection risk score, which looks at your pain characteristics and physical exam. And if the patient's stable, they sometimes do a D-dimer test. And if your D dimer is low and your risk is low, they can safely rule it out. But really, it's a clinical diagnosis. If you suspect it, you immediately jump into action. But for prevention, we're not scanning everybody. The primary strategies for the general public are aggressive management of high blood pressure and smoking cessation. That is, if you have high blood pressure, fix it. If you vape or smoke, stop. That is your universal prevention. Now, regarding genetic testing, who absolutely must get screened? And now this is the most critical part of today's talk. Who actually needs the genetic testing and early imaging? And according to the 2022 American College of Cardiology and American Heart Association guidelines, we aren't playing games with this. There are specific groups who absolutely must undergo genetic testing. So first, if you have an aortic aneurysm or a dissection and you have risk factors for heritable thoracic aortic disease, which is HTAD, it means that when you're young, when it happens, if you have features of a connective tissue disorder like long limbs or joint hypermobility, or if your family history is littered with aneurysms or sudden death or extra aortic and other places aneurysms, you get the genetic panel. Second, if you have a clinical diagnosis of a aortopathy, if you will, again, like Marfan's or Loeys-Dietz or vascular Ehlers-Danlos or Noonan's or Turner's, you get tested, and that may find a pathogenic variant in somebody in your family, and you can enter what we call a cascade testing. So if your parent, sibling, or child has a bad gene, you need to get tested immediately. But there's one more rule that covers almost everyone listening. Even if we don't find a specific genetic mutation in your family member, first-degree relatives, your parents, your siblings, your children, of anyone who has a TAA, which is a thoracic aortic aneurysm or dissection, are recommended to undergo screening via aortic imaging. This is a class 1 recommendation, meaning if your dad had an aneurysm, you go get an echocardiogram or a CT scan, and that's not negotiable. So let's wrap this up. An ascending aortic dissection is catastrophic, as you know by now. It's an event with a ticking clock. It's often driven by uncontrolled high blood pressure or hidden genetics. You can't do universal screening, but you can control your blood pressure and you can stop smoking. And most importantly, you need to ask your parents one simple question this week. Has anybody in our family ever had an aortic aneurysm in their chest or sudden unexplained death? And if the answer is yes, or if you ever pause to wonder, talk to your doctor. Know your numbers, know your family tree, and take this ticking time bomb seriously, and let's try and eliminate the things that we know cause it. So with that, thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a great day.